Hello, my beautiful water signs, and welcome to this, your February 1st through the 15th prediction video. I'm going to be taking a look at Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. I will be doing 3 separate readings, one for each of you guys. And let me just, go into the usual monthly spiel here. These are general readings. There are an awful lot of you guys out there, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. I mean, how many friends do you guys have that are Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, right? So take what resonates with you. It's the right timing for you to hear this message. And if it doesn't resonate with you, then the timing just isn't right this month. I do want to apologize for my surroundings. I am traveling right now. I am in Florida and I'm in a rental. And so we're making do as we get through this. What else can I say? I am not a financial advisor. I am not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. So anything that you see or hear in this video that you may choose to take as the gospel truth and advice, please take that with a grain of salt. And remember, you have free will. Please, please, please take responsibility for your own actions, choices, decisions, etc. All right, let's get started. All right, we're going to start with the Cancers out there. So, Cancerians, I think that's how you say it. All right, let's get started with a card for Where Are You Now? Where are you now? Going into early February 2023 for the Cancers. All of the cards were previously cleansed. Just a reminder that I do all of my readings with the cards down, and I turn them over one by one as I'm doing your reading. Let's take a look, Cancer, at where your focus is for the early part of February. Okay, we've got 2 cards that have jumped out and spread themselves across the table. So put those in their right place. Let's look at your difficult influences. What is challenging, difficult influence for you, Cancer, for early February? We've got 1 card that's popped out. Is there anything else? No. Actually, there's more than 1 card there. Wow. We've got 4. Let's see. For the Cancer, am I intended to read all 4 of these cards, or is there just 1 or 2? No, I'm not getting any separation in the cards. They are sticking close together. All right. That was your difficult influences. Let's have a look at what makes sense for you at this time. Where are we going for this makes sense? We're going back to this same deck. This is the Angels and Ancestors deck by Kyle Gray. All right, what makes sense in early February, 1st to the 15th for Cancer? Okay, there we go. All right, and let's move into some unexpected influences. What's unexpected? I'm getting called in 2 separate directions to 2 separate decks here. Unexpected influences. Yeah, this was a little bit stronger. Go back over to the fairies, these mischievous little fairies. All right. And let's have a look at your outcome. Let's see what's coming out for you guys. Outcome. Oh, there we go. See how that card's sticking up? We're just going to grab that one as your outcome card. All right. Cancer. Where are you now? Ooh, you got the Lover's card. Wow. Choices made from the heart. Okay. So maybe your general February 1st through the 15th reading, Cancerians, is going to involve love and evolve into a love reading. We'll have to turn over a few more cards and see where we're going with this. But, the Lover's card is not just about love in the form of couples and relationships. The Lover's card also signifies decisions made from the heart. Okay. So this can indicate that you may have a decision coming up that you would normally make from the mind, the logical mind, and you're weighing the pros and cons and everything else. This card can indicate that you're on the verge of making a decision, sort of a snap decision. My heart says I'm going to go this way, and that's what I'm going to do. The other thing that this card represents is good health. It's an indication that you're feeling healthy, you're feeling the vitality of everyday life, and so on. So this card is where you're at right now, Cancer. You're in a good place and you're making some decisions using your heart. And your health is looking pretty good. Let's have a look at your focus. Ooh, okay. So your focus right now, like I mentioned, we've got two cards that have come up. We have got the Ace of Wands, or the Source card. That's this card here. And you've got the Control card. This card represents the King of Swords. So you've actually got cards from the two opposite ends of the spectrum. The Ace cards always represent new beginnings. The Ace of Wands is that you are making decisions or choices with regards to a new beginning, and you're making that decision by tapping into your source or your higher power. Whatever you choose to call that, Cancer, whether you choose to call that God, Ra, Creator, the universe, whatever name you choose to put on your connection to source, you're making decisions coming from there. That is your focus right now. However, what's kind of coming in and blocking you from doing that is your pull or your desire to want to control everything that's going on around you. You can't have both. These are opposites. You cannot be fully in control if you are making a new beginning by tapping into your source. Okay? These two are polar opposites, which is an indication that your focus right now is not in alignment, right? You're kind of butting heads right now. So Cancer, for the 1st through the 15th of February, you're going to want to look at which way you want to lean here. Now, given that you are coming from a place of making decisions from the heart with the Lover's card, moving, out of the end of January into early February, and you've got two cards of butting your head, you've got some decisions to make right now, Cancer. And you've got to decide if you're going to make your decisions from a place of control. And oftentimes control comes from the mind. It's not coming from the heart. So you're moving out of making decisions from the heart, or are you going to remain in this place of making decisions from the heart and allowing your source to come in and help you with those decisions, or are you going to hold on to control? That's really kind of your focus right now. You're going to have to make some choices. Your difficult influences, we've got 4 cards that came out. I am going to read them in the order that, as I turn them over, the order that they come out. The first one that comes out in your difficult influences is your medicine guardian. It's interesting that I mentioned the Lover's card represents a return to good health. It represents feeling good, healthy. This card in your difficult influences means pay attention to your health. Just because you're struggling between, controlling a situation or making some new decisions by tapping into your higher power doesn't mean that you should neglect your health. And this card is confirmation that you need to pay attention to your health at this time. This is not saying that, oh my God, your health is falling to pieces by any means. What this card is just indicating right now is this is your card of here now, end of January. It's a card of good health. This card in your difficult influence is saying maintain that good health. Pay attention to your health. The other card that you got is the High Priest, intend and create. You also got the White Witch, be the light, and you got the Seer, see beyond the current situation. What these three cards in your difficult influences are telling me, Cancer, is that right now, because these are in the difficult influences, you're struggling with trying to be the light. You're struggling with trying to be the seer. Okay? You're here. You're in this place of control. This is where you want to be headed, where the source and your creator want you to be headed, but you're still caught up in this. Okay? Because when we're caught up in wanting to control everything, when we're caught up in this King of Swords card, we struggle with being able to create. We struggle with being the light for our friends and family and for ourselves. And we struggle with being able to see beyond the current situation. What happens is when we are in this situation, we've got blinders on. Okay. That's your difficult influences for the next 15 days, February 1st through the 15th. That's not to say that you cannot overcome this. Remember what I said at the beginning of the video, you have free will. And so this video is being recorded based on where you're at right now and the trajectory based on decisions and the thinking that you've got going on right now. As you change your thinking and change your mind about certain things and make different choices, then these difficult influences also begin to fade. Okay, what makes sense right now? Okay, it makes sense right now that you have your guardian angel with you. You're being reminded that you're not alone and that you are being supported through making these difficult choices. Okay, so even if you're having difficulty tapping into your source, tap into your guardian angels right now, Cancer. Call out to your guardian angels and say, hey, I'm struggling with this one. The other thing is that when this card comes up, pay attention to signs that your guardian angel is around you, whether that be seeing a shooting star up in the sky, whether that be seeing a feather floating down from a bird that wouldn't normally be in your area, whether that be finding the smallest denomination of coin from your personal currency around. Those are all signs that your angel is trying to let you know, I'm here, I'm supporting you. Okay. Unexpected influences is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the Queen of Autumn, as it is in the fairy deck, whenever we have a card come up from the Pentacles, it is usually, unless it's reversed, usually a good sign for money and finances. The Queen of Pentacles represents being practical with your money and being practical as you proceed. Okay. Sometimes the Queen can also represent someone new coming into your life. So watch for that over the next 15 days. Someone new coming into your life that has the ability or capacity to help you in a big way, including helping pull you out of this conflicting energy that you've got going on in your focus, whether that be in your love life or whether that be in your career. And I want to say, intuitively, what I'm picking up for you is that for many of you, this queen is representing somebody coming in specifically to help you with this conflict that you've got going on. Cancers, you've got a decision to make, a relatively big decision right now. For some of you, that is love. For some of you, that's business. But I've got a pretty equal split coming down here. And as you're making that decision, watch for somebody to come in and help you. Okay. All right. The general overall outcome is the impasse card. Reflect and redirect your energies. The impasse card is confirmation of this conflict. And what this is telling me is that by February 15th, as this is a reading for February 1st to the 15th, you may not be fully out of this conflict here. You may still be in a place or an impasse where you are still struggling with making choices from source as opposed to making choices from a place of control. That's not unexpected in 2023. There is a lot going on, a lot of changing and shifting energies. Is this a bad thing? Actually, no, it's not. Don't look at this as a negative. Look at this as an opportunity to be able to learn to tap into your source, an opportunity to learn to tap into your guardian angels on a deeper level so that you have an opportunity going forward deeper into 2023 and deeper into the new energies that are coming down. If you can master tapping into your source and connecting with your guardian angels early in 2023, later in 2023, you're just going to breeze through. Now, that's not here in the cards right now. That's what I'm picking up for you intuitively, my Cancerian friends. Okay. So just keep in mind, there is this impasse card as your outcome is still an indication that there's going to be a little bit of this struggle going on with regards to decision making, but it doesn't have to be long term. Also on this card, we've got the squirrel. The squirrel also represents preparing for the future. That is when we have animals, different animals that come up in tarot and oracle cards, the squirrel always represents being prepared for the future. So, or preparing for the future. And that's exactly the message that I'm getting here for you, is that as you get more in tune with this, getting in touch with source and the higher realms, you're preparing for the future. All right. We're going to move into the Cancers, or sorry, move into the Scorpios. My bad. This is what happens when you travel and you don't get as much sleep as you normally would. Tripping on your words. All right, let's just finish putting these away, and then we're going to cleanse each deck and we're going to move into Scorpio energy. Release the Cancers, release the Cancerian energy. Let's move into Scorpio. Actually, this deck wants to have a little shuffle, which is fine. Okay, Scorpio, let's move into your energy. Where are you now, Scorpio? End of January, the you now energy for the Scorpios. Oh, we got one card. Anything else? No, just one. All right, just a reminder, I do leave all of the cards face down until I'm actually ready to read them. Your focus. I was already grabbing the card before I even said that, Scorpio. I was already grabbing towards this deck. So let's see what your focus is. Scorpio's focus, February 1st through the 15th. Okay, we've got a lot of cards that have come out here. That one's definitely staying. We've got Scorpio. Do we have one more card for Scorpio's focus? Scorpio's focus. Okay, it looks like we're going to be reading 4 cards for you, I think. Let's see. Focus for that. Oh, and that one even slipped underneath the first one, so it's going to be read first. Okay, let's have a look at your difficult influences. Okay. Actually being called over to a relatively new deck to me. It is a traditional tarot deck. We've got one card that jumped right out. Is there anything else for Scorpio in difficult influences for? We've got a card that's sticking up there. February 1st through the 15th. Okay. What makes sense? Makes sense. Fairies. What makes sense for Scorpio? This deck is just a wild deck to work with. Okay, come on, fairies. You said that you wanted to come out and play. Oh, we got some. Anything else for Scorpio? And this makes sense. Okay. Collect up all of these cards that came out. All right. I may have to narrow this down, Scorpio. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. I know that these 2 came out at the end. See, these came out in a pile. Is there one more card for Scorpio? And this makes sense. I think we're just going with the 2 cards that I've set out there that popped out by themselves as opposed to in a big pile. All right. Oh, Scorpio. We got some heart stuff going on this month, Scorpio. Where are we going for unexpected influences? Unexpected influences for Scorpios. February 1st through the 15th. Scorpio, you've got some stuff going on because I just had another 6 or 7 cards come flying out onto the floor. So, like I said, I do not edit. I do not edit. What you see is what you get, Scorpio. All right. Unexpected influences, 1st to the 15th for the Scorpios. That one. Anything else? Unexpected influences. No. Okay. General overall outcome. Anything else for the outcome? Outcome for Scorpio. Yeah, there's one more. I knew there was one more. Okay. Scorpio, you are in a place of stand your ground. Now, I know that last month for the end of January 15th through the 31st, someone had this card as well. They were in this place of stand your ground. They were being put in a position of really having to, hold on to their position and where they were at. But the other thing that the mountain cards indicate, or the mountain card indicates, is that you've got a lot going on below the surface. You know, a mountain is similar to an iceberg in the sense that it's not just what you see above the water or above the land. There's also stuff going on below the surface in any mountain range. And so, Scorpio, right now, end of January, as we're moving into the beginning of February, this is what you've got going on. You've got a lot going on below the surface, and you're in this place where you're standing your ground. For a lot of you, this has to do with a relationship. You're standing your ground in your relationship. You are in this place of learning and holding your boundaries, your focus. Wow. You got the Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords. Your focus, like I said, you're in this place of having to hold your ground, right? Setting boundaries. That's exactly what I said. I don't turn these cards over until I'm ready to read them. You've got the Fighting card and the Mind card. My Scorpio friends, what have you got yourselves into? Okay. Both of these cards represent conflict. They represent being kind of feeling like your back is against the wall. In this card, you're caught up in your mind. You're so caught up in your thoughts that you're not having this ability to make decisions from intuition or make decisions from a place of the heart. This card is an indication that you're just kind of feeling itchy and anxious and like, you know, this card has that energy of, I'm looking for a fight. Okay. This is telling me that you're focusing on this. And as we focus on things, we know from the law of attraction, where we put our energy, where we put our thoughts is what we end up creating. So if you are walking around caught up in your mind, caught up in your thoughts, and your thoughts are all about, then you're actually inviting more of that anxious, growly type energy into your life. Okay. So Scorpios, let's have a look at what your difficult influences are and read the rest of this. But Scorpios, at some point in time, you're going to have to step back and go back more into that loving, beautiful place. Let's see the rest of where you're going here. Okay. You've got the Five of Swords. You've got more swords. Both of these cards, you've got the Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords coming up here. And you've also got the Five of Swords coming in. Double-edged nature. You've got the fives are all about adjusting to changes. There could have been a loss or a defeat here, and you're having to adjust to that. This is in your difficult influences. You've also got the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles in your difficult influences is that you're hanging on to something, hanging on to possessions, hanging on to a situation. You're being inflexible. Something is just not. This is not about being in flow here, Scorpio. You've also got consecutive cards coming out here, which is an indication that you're moving through things. So this is the Four of Pentacles that you've got coming up, and then you've got the Five of Swords coming up. You've got the Page and the Knight coming up. You've got consecutive cards coming up, which is also highly unusual unless you're really, really in that place of having to work through something. Scorpio, I don't know what you've got yourself into, but let me just, before I turn any more cards over, let me just tap in for just a moment. Okay. What I've got coming up, just intuitively, and again, these are general readings, but what I've got coming up for a lot of you Scorpios is there's this adjustment period that you're going through as we move out of the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. Now, if we actually look at the energies, some of the energies surrounding these specific zodiac signs. The age of Pisces has a duality about it. It's always represented by the two fish. The age of Pisces was about war. It was about what can I have? Give me, give me, give me. Okay. We're moving into the age of Aquarius, which is more about generosity. It's about community. It's about a very, very different way of living. Now, if we look at a Scorpio, the sign of Scorpio is represented by the scorpion, which is a creature that is feared because when it gets angry, it lashes out. So for the Scorpios as well as the Pisceans, and I'm seeing this a lot coming out in the readings, as we move out of this duality and this kind of fighting and angry energy into the age of Aquarius, which is more about sharing and generosity and just a whole different energy, there is this internal struggle that's happening for the Scorpios, as well as for the Pisceans. Okay. So I think that that's a little bit what I'm picking up on here. And 2023 is is the year of this last kind of final thrust into the age of Aquarius and these new energies, leaving the age of Pisces behind. So it kind of stands to reason that you're going through a little bit of this, my Scorpio friends, but that's not to say that you can't move through this. And as you release this desire to fight and be in your mind and always be in control, as you know, the Four of Pentacles is about you holding on to something. When you finally let go of that and release that, there's going to be this lightening of your energy. Also, the Five of Swords represents the double-edged nature. And again, it's that duality. So as you can move out of this duality and move into being able to see things from a different perspective, I think it's really going to benefit you guys. Okay, we've also got the Eight of Swords and the Four of, why am I drawing? Four of Spring. Why am I drawing a complete blank on what that represents in the traditional tarot? Anyway, I'll get back to that in just a second. Okay. We've got the Eight of Winter, which is also known as the Eight of Swords. What did I say to you? We've now got the Five of Swords. We've got the Page and Knight of Swords. And now we've got the Eight of Swords. This is in your This Makes Sense. Scorpio, the Eight of Swords represents you feeling like you're powerless when you're really not. But when we hold on to things from the past, it can make us feel like we're powerless. It's not a great feeling. I'm just tapping into your energy here. You've got this duality going on there, Scorpio. Okay. Scorpio, you've got this duality going on as we're shifting from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And some of this fighting that you're focusing on is you fighting yourself, not just fighting the outside. You're fighting in yourself. You've got this internal struggle going on. You're caught up in your mind, and that's making you feel like you're not good enough. This Eight of Swords is like an imposter syndrome card, and you're caught up in this imposter syndrome. Now, having said that, you also have the Four of Spring. The spring in the fairy deck is the equivalent to the wands. And what this is saying is that you have things to celebrate. You can have a contented personal life, but you have to release the duality. You can't be caught up in the duality of fighting against yourself and be caught up in your mind. Okay? Okay. Unexpected influences. You got the star ancestor. Follow the voice of your soul. This is a beautiful card to have in your unexpected influences, because what this is telling me is that by mid-February, as you begin to release this duality, you are going to be able to access your star ancestor, your star seed energy, the ability to be able to tap into that higher energy. That's the direction that you're headed. Let's have a look at your outcome. Oh, beautiful. So by the middle of February, if you work towards releasing this duality and you work towards shifting your energy out of the age of Pisces and into the age of Aquarius and into this generosity and this community-centered type energy, you are moving into, interestingly, you've got the Eight of Wands here. That means you've got two eights that have come up. Beautiful. You've got the traveling card and you've got the card of patience. Okay. The traveling card can indicate both physical travel for some of you, but for a lot of you, this is about traveling into the next age, traveling in your mind with regards to healing. Okay. And this card, you've got the patience card. Now, the patience card does also indicate pay attention to phases, phase of the moon, pay attention to where we're at with regards to our season, make decisions in alignment with the phase of the moon as well as the seasons. But this card also indicates when you have patience with yourself, you will be able to pull yourself out of this in a really, really big hurry. Be patient. Be gentle with yourself and allow yourself to travel to those other dimensions and release things. Okay, we're going to move into Pisces. Interestingly, moving into Pisces after doing the Scorpio, it's going to be an interesting reading. Let's get all of these cards tucked back into their little places where they want to be. All right. Just the cards have been a little bit frantic here, so let me clear them all out for you, Pisces, before we get started. All right. Oh. Tapping into the Pisces energy for February 1st to the 15th, 2023. Just a moment, I'm going to pull cards for where you're at now, Pisces. Okay. Pisces, where are you at right now? Getting called over to the fairy deck. Fairies want to come out and talk to Pisces. Okay. Oh, that was interesting. We had a card slip right out from the middle of the deck just as I was trying to put it back to do another shuffle. Pisces, where are you at now? Let's move into where you're focusing. Where is Pisces focused right now? What are they focusing on? That's interesting. I almost never shuffle the deck this way, but I'm called to shuffle it this way. I'll be right back. Like I said, Pisces, these cards are acting just crazy. Jumping out, flying out, literally. All right. What is Pisces focusing on? I now have a smaller deck in my hand with all of the cards that came flying out. So let's see what Pisces is focusing on. We've got two cards. Incidentally, both of them have come out in the reversed position, which is unusual because I almost never allow my decks to get mixed up. And you've got two cards in the reversed. All right, Pisces, like I said, you've got interesting energies right now. Difficult influences for Pisces. I'm actually being called to two separate decks for you for this. So we're going to pull two cards for your difficult influences. We've got one card left in my hand. Just in my mind's eye, I saw two cards. I do apologize for the appearance behind me. I'm traveling at this time, so I'm in a rental. Not necessarily my idea of really gorgeous decor, but you know, it's a rental. Not in my home base. All right, difficult influences for Pisces, February 1st to the 15th. Come on, fairies, you said that you wanted to come out. There we go. All right. Let's have a look at what makes sense for you. I'm getting called right over here. What makes sense for the Pisces right now? Pisces, there you go. All right, let's have a look at unexpected. What is unexpected for the Pisces? Back to the fairies. Pisces, these fairies really want to talk to you right now. For Pisces, oh, we had some jump, but they didn't quite come out. Unexpected influences for Pisces. There we go. Oh, all right, we've got three. Let's see what we've got for you, Pisces. All right, let's pick them up and put them down. And just a reminder, I do leave everything face down until I'm actually ready to read them, and I flip them over. That way I don't have the opportunity to jump ahead. And also, if I'm making some intuitive predictions and then turn over a card that confirms the intuitive prediction, it gives a little bit more weight to the readings as well. Let's have a look at your outcome. Where is Pisces going to be at? What's the outcome? February 1st to the 15th, 2023. Nothing. Nothing yet. Okay, there we go. We've got our standing up card. Where are you at right now, Pisces? You've got the Ace of Wands. Ooh, new beginnings. Time to take action. Be fearless. Pursue your desired dreams. That's where you're at right now, Pisces, the Ace of Wands, or Ace of Spring, as it is in the fairy deck. This is an indication that there are some new opportunities coming down the pipes for you. Now, just a reminder, for Pisces, we are moving in 2023 out of the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. So this makes sense that we've got the card of new beginnings in your, where are you now? It makes sense that there's new beginnings for you. Now, we do have two inverted cards or upside down cards for you. I'm going to flip them over for the purposes of reading them and showing them to you. The Oracle, wait for important information, and the Knight, be brave and honest. Now, both of these cards came up reversed, and as I mentioned, for the most part, I try not to allow my cards to get reversed. So when they do get reversed, it's usually pretty important. What this is telling me is that your focus right now is you're having a little trouble tapping into important oracle type information, and you're being impatient because this card came up like this. This is telling you to wait for important information, and we read inverted cards as the opposite. So Pisces, you're being a little bit impatient at this time. You're focusing on something, but you're being impatient about it. The Knight coming up reversed, be brave and honest. It's telling me that some of you Pisces are feeling not so brave. You're not feeling this Knight energy right now. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And perhaps the reason that you are feeling impatient and not feeling particularly brave is because of this Ace of Wands or Ace of Spring coming up. Okay. When we go through significant change, whether that change is going to have a positive outcome, and the Ace of Wands is indicating a positive outcome, whether we're going into that knowing that there's going to be a positive outcome or not, it can cause these insecure feelings that you're now focusing on. Now, Pisces, as you pull yourself out of these insecure feelings, you are going to have beautiful. It's, you know, the Ace of Spring is indicating that it's going to be good, but it's, what I'm picking up is this is something that you need to go through. This impatient feeling and this feeling like you're not the Knight, feeling like you're not being brave. You do need to experience this. And it's good that you're going to be experiencing this early on in 2023, because the sooner you get this worked through your system as we're changing energies, moving into the age of Aquarius, the better, right? So get this out of the way. Let's have a look at what your difficult influences are. Now, I was called to pull two cards from two different decks for you. You've got the Seven of Swords. Secretive action, indirect communication. Somebody might be talking behind your back. Things are not quite as they seem. And be wary of overconfidence. What does this card indicate? It indicates that you're not feeling confident. And the Seven of Swords is confirming that you are just not really feeling confident at this time. That's one of your difficult influences. The other one is the Empress in reverse in your difficult influences. You're not feeling overly creative right now. And this card in reverse is also indicating that this is not a good time for you to be taking a whole bunch of action and forging ahead in your life. This is really a time for you to sit back and allow these new energies to come in. It makes sense that you're feeling impatient And then you got the Empress in reverse advising you to not, like normally the Empress in its normal position, in the upright position would be, yeah, go out and grab life and move forward. In the reverse, just saying, timing's not right. Okay. Now you got this in you got the reversed Empress in the difficult influences, which is saying that you're feeling impatient. This is confirmation of this impatience card. Okay. Pisces, you are bristling at the changing energies. I do want to say that for most of you, for the vast majority of you, this pertains to career and money, right? You're bristling at all of these changes. It's not making you feel comfort zone and in that warm embrace of your favorite blanket. Okay. Okay. Here's confirmation again that once you move past this impatience, once you move past these cards that are indicating that kind of feeling of insecurity, you're going to be able to move into this Ace of Spring energy. And here is more confirmation. You've got the gates of triumph. Success expands in your life. Okay. But you do need to move through these other energies first. So from the 1st of February to the 15th of February, there is going to be this bristling and this impatience and this not feeling really good. But this card makes sense in this reading because once you move through this and learn these lessons early in 2023, there's an opportunity for a lot of success. We're going to have a look now. Yeah, we're going to have a look at your unexpected influences. You've got the Princess of Swords, the King of Cups, and the Four of Cups. You've got information coming in that will help you, but it's going to be hard to hear that information. That's what the Princess of Winter or the Princess of Swords is bringing in for you. There is new information coming in for you between February 1st and 15th, but it's going to be information that you might not, it's information you need to hear, but it's going to be a little bit difficult for you to hear it. Once you can integrate that new information, you've got the King of Cups and you've got the Four of Cups. And both of these have magical energy. Both of these relate to getting more in touch with your heart, making decisions from the heart, which is about the age of Aquarius. A lot of the age of Pisces is making decisions from up here. Age of Aquarius is about making decisions from the heart, being more emotional. So let me just show you those two cards together. The Cups is a more emotional, going with the flow energy. And you've got both the King and the Four here. The Four of Cups can be about potentially being a little bit discontented with life, but you've got it next to the King, and the King is honorable. The King is going to bring in this warm-hearted nature for you. Your general overall outcome is control. Okay. Your general overall outcome, Pisces, is letting go of control. Really. If you want to move into all of this beauty and generosity and the cups and the gates of triumph and the new beginnings that the Ace of Wands is going to bring in for you, you've got to let go of this control. This control represents a duality. This is the King of Swords. It's interesting that in your unexpected influences, you've got the King of Cups, and in your outcome, you've got the King of Swords. Do you know what that means? we have free will. We have the ability to change any psychic reading, any tarot reading. We have the ability to change the outcome by changing our thoughts. Everything we know from the law of attraction, that everything starts with a thought. Where the energy goes, it flows, right? We know the Dr. Joe Dispenza teachings. What this is telling me is that in unexpected influences, you have the opportunity to move into the King of Cups. But if you don't, and you decide to stay in duality and try to stay in control, you're going to move into the King of Swords, which is an uncomfortable place to be, Pisces. So I would encourage you, Pisces, between the 1st and the 15th of February, do some deep soul searching. Okay, get in touch with your heart, get in touch with your emotions. Both of these cards in your unexpected influences are an invitation to make decisions from the heart, not from the mind. And when you do that, you have the ability to let go of this. And when you let go of this comes in. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you again in mid-February for your late February predictions readings. And I really appreciate all of you being here today. Thank you so much.